Namaste, yogis. Thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa Lees. Also, I'm with Melissa on Instagram and Facebook. You see behind me my wonderful friend Christian. She will be our yoga model, helping us get through our practice today. Be prepared to sweat, to maybe huff and puff a little bit. Grab yourself a towel, a bottle of water, maybe 2 blocks, and I think that will be it. We'll get ready to get started on the mat. If you want to amp it up a little bit more, my suggestion, the way I practice this, would be with the air turned off or a little bit higher than usual. Really burn some things off and move through the body. So thank you for joining me, and let's get present on the mat. All right, yogis, we will begin in child's pose. So just making your way long onto the mat, starting with knees together, ankles together, and bringing your chest down, wandering the fingertips away from the body, and melting forehead down into the mat. Using these first few breaths to start to call yourself here to the 4 corners of your mat. Letting it be a time to set aside our to-do lists, to set aside all of the noise from the day, and just find ourselves wholly here. Maybe even choosing the affirmation, I am present. Each inhale, feeling the breath move deep into the belly, pulling that affirmation, I am present, from the tips of the fingers all the way to the toes. And the exhale, almost a release. Resignation into the present. I am here and here alone. And settle here for 3 more breaths. And settling for you might even include a little bit of movement. You might wiggle a little side to side. You may rock your forehead in one direction and then the next. And after those 3 breaths, just gently begin to walk the fingertips over towards the right edge of your mat. As you do, be mindful to set the left hip a little more strongly onto the left heel. Maybe staying here, seasoned practitioners might take their left hand and hold on to their right, using that to gently extend and lengthen the left side even more. And using a gentle exhale, begin to walk back to center. And this time, before we switch sides, temple the fingers, ground into the mat. Use an inhale, halfway lift, pulling shoulder blades into the back plane. And then an exhale to settle back down. Forehead to the mat, palms to the mat. Next exhale, wander over to the left side of the mat this time. Feeling the grounding of hips to heels. And then if you took it on the other side, maybe reaching the right hand on top of the left. And stretching and opening a little bit deeper. Next exhale, allow yourself to wander back to center. And since this is a shorter class, we'll get right into it. So if you need a little bit more here, pause the video, stay in child's pose a little bit longer. Or if you're feeling ready, press hands into the mat, rise up to table. Take the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, belly in, feet down. And we'll begin just with our scapular raises. So press down strongly into that first row of knuckles at the base of your fingers. Dig your fingertips into the mat. Look forward. And on an exhale, softly drop the chest, but keep the arms strong. And then press up. And we'll do that a few times. So dropping the chest and lifting, dropping, Pressing up. One more time, letting the chest fall. And inhale, pressing up. Bringing the spine into neutral. Take your left hand just to your solar plexus. Feel your power here where the ribs and the low belly meet. Allow your core to activate. Place your left hand back down and we'll begin to move through cat-cow, trying to keep some stabilization through the center of the body. So inhale, drop the belly, let the tail lift, the head lift. And exhale, press into the earth even more strongly. Pick the heart up, press up. And then begin to move through on your own breath, feeling each inhale bring you more into your body. Each exhale, release the strings that bind you off the mat. And they don't have to be any particular shape. You could change it up. Wiggle side to side. There's nothing rigid about yoga. Next, inhale, stay at center. Refirm your belly in. Step your hands forward a half step. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Fingertips root in. Tucking the toes and lifting the knees an inch or so off the mat. Stay here. Roll the shoulders into the back body. Gaze forward. And breathe for 2. For 1. Last breath. Begin to press into the hands. Wrap the shoulders down the back. Press the chest back towards the thighs. Ears stay in between the biceps as you lift the tailbone nice and high. Stay here, pressing the hands away from the head. Begin to draw the heels down to the mat. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. And since it's our first one, let's take a little bit of movement pedaling out the knees. Checking in that the chest isn't falling towards the mat. The lower back isn't scooping in. Everything is active and engaged. From the center of the body, think about where we placed our hands and table. Roll forward into plank, stacking the shoulders over the wrists. Situate your feet. Gaze forward. And press the earth away. We'll do that 2 more times. Staying focused on the center body, pull back, lift tailbone. Settle the heels down last. Take a full round of breath here. Next inhale rolls us back out into plank. Press back through the heels, shoulders away. Check in with the shoulder blades, making sure you're staying on the back. And pull back. Heels come down last. 1 more time. Inhale, roll forward. Feeling a little bit of fire, hopefully. And pull back, downward facing dog. Breathe for 3. For 2. For 1. Pick the right leg straight up, rise onto the ball of the left. Draw the right knee into the chest, roll shoulders over wrists. And then pull back. Staying lifted on the ball of the left foot, take the right knee to the right elbow. And then settle it back. Pull knee to chest, wrap it under the body, tap left elbow. And send it back. Allow the right foot to come down and we'll move into the left leg. Left leg lifts. And left knee to chest. Inhale, pull left leg back. And tap the left elbow with an exhale. Inhale back. Last time, pull it in and tap right elbow. Inhale back. And settle downward facing dog. Back at home base, downward facing dog. Know that anytime during class you feel a little overwhelmed or maybe you need a rest, come to down dog. Take a moment in child's pose. Pause the video because I won't know. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And inhale, lift the right leg. Pull knee to chest. Hover in plank with knee to chest. Look at the space where your foot's going to step down. And then as quietly as you can, let the foot land in between the hands. Wonderful. This is a great place for blocks. Maybe place them underneath your hands or bring the knee down to the mat. My very flexible yogis, rise up, come on to your thigh. Maybe stay here. It's a great place to practice. Or those of us who have really good mobility in our hips, I want you to consciously point your tailbone down to the mat, squeeze inner thighs together, and then come into your lunge. Squeezing the legs together like they're going to touch. Maybe stay here. Inhale, arms float up overhead. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, move palms together, lift the heart up, breathe up, lift up. Maybe stay here. Let the right hand float either to the right hip or the earth. Left arm lifts up and over. Feeling that side bend as you take left hand over to the right, breathe. Inhale back to center. Draw hands together, Anjali Mudra, take prayer. Right into the heart space. Press right into left, left into right, and then begin to tuck the back toes. Use an inhale, straighten left leg, lift the left knee. Pull the hips nice and square, bellies in, shoulders back and down. As slowly as you can, melt forward 45 degrees, shifting weight a little more into the right foot, and then extend arms back behind you. Maybe binding fingers, maybe leaving hands separate. Do what feels right. Releasing hands back down to the mat, framing the right foot. Shift weight right just for a moment. Step the left foot forward half the distance. As we move into our pyramid pose, we'll pull the right hip back, left hip down. We'll inhale, halfway lift, look forward, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, chin to chest as you round the forehead towards the knee. Maybe it connects. Maybe you have hands on blocks to bring the earth closer. Feel the stretch happening in the belly of the hamstrings. Inhale, pop the right foot off the mat. So the ball of the foot lifts. You'll feel that a little more intensely through the back line of the leg. If it starts to feel like too much, bring the ball of the foot back down. Soften the foot down. Bend the right knee just a little bit as you step the hands forward, half step. Breathe here. Think of yourself about to launch off onto that right foot as you lift the left leg back behind you, standing L. Use blocks under the hands if that feels good. Or fingertips stay to the earth. Bend your left knee, chamber it right behind your right. Look forward. Inhale, expand the arms wide right and left. Return fingertips down to the mat. Extend the left leg behind the left hip again. Some of us will stay here working on the strength of that right leg. Turn left hip down. Seasoned practitioners, if you're feeling like it's a good idea, maybe hands to the mat. Coming into your Shakti kicks. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe it's not a good day to come into those, but it might be a good day to prep. You can bend the right knee just a little bit. Keep the left leg stock straight. Lift onto the ball of the right foot. Press into your hands softly. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. Maybe catching some flight time. Maybe not. Taking one more breath here. And stepping the left leg behind the right, walking hands back, taking a gentle fold. Keeping the legs crossed, inhale, float the arms up overhead, press palms together. Interlace the fingers, extend the index fingers, and then begin to lean to the left. Pull right hip back, belly in. Inhale, center, and exhale, fold. With hands on the mat, unwind the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. And pressing hands into the mat, feet into the mat. Feel yourself taking a rest. Maybe rest isn't exactly the word you use and you come into child's pose, but we'll be here for about 3 more breaths, just reconnecting with our breath. And after your 3rd breath, lifting that left leg nice and high. Knee to chest, rolling over the wrists. Again, gaze where your foot's going to land, and then step it down softly. Wiggle the right foot back as you bring the right knee down to the mat. Reach for blocks if you need. Situate the tailbone again, so strong line, energetic superhighway is straight from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Hands stay connected to the thigh as we turn on the feet, trying to drag them to one another even though they won't move. Maybe staying here, inhale, arms come up overhead. On an exhale, palms come together, heart lifts. This might be exactly what you need. Stay here. Or allow your left hand to come down to the mat. Right fingertips come up and over. Inhale back, center. Arms reach up overhead. And on an exhale, press hands together in an Anjali Mudra right at heart center. Tuck the back toes. Pressing into the feet, lift the back knee. Stay here, breathe. Melt the heart forward 45 degrees. Shift the weight a little more into the left leg as you draw the hands back behind you, reach. And plant your hands firmly onto the mat. Shift your weight into that left foot. Pick the right foot up half the distance. Settle both feet down, toes point forward. A little more challenging to have the feet aligned, a little less challenging to have the feet a little bit wider. Check in with that left hip. If we feel like we're falling into it, pick it up, pull right hip forward. Inhale, halfway lift, tuck the belly in. Exhale, fold. Maybe while you're here, you're noticing a little bit of distraction. Maybe there's someone in the other room. Maybe the dogs come in. It's pulled us out. Take a moment to shake out your head, to release the tension, and to remember, I am present. I'm here on purpose. Inhale, halfway lift, press into the hands. Lift the ball of the left foot away from the mat. But be mindful if that changes the direction of the hips. Keep the hips square to the front of the mat. Allow the left foot to return. Bend the left knee just enough that you can shift weight forward. Step the hands forward a half step and lift the right leg. Turn the right hip down. You'll know immediately as those hips start to square because the outer left thigh will go, oh, sensation. Stay here. Softly bend the left knee as you chamber the right knee behind it. Squeeze here. Or maybe extend arms out wide, right and left. Allow hands to return to the mat. Extend the right leg back behind you. And if you tried your Shakti kicks on the other side, maybe you try them here. Maybe you work on your form. Hands come to the earth. Fingertips press. First row of knuckles press down on purpose. Left knee bends. Right leg is stock straight. Find your drishti and try not to move your gaze away from that. Lift onto the ball of the left foot. Hands press. Use an exhale to lift and hold. And come back down. Notice one side markedly better than the other side. If you're like me, you have one favorite side. And you're working on loving the other side. Right leg behind the left. Step the hands in and fold. And taking this time to settle the breath. If you're like me, you're sweating. And then inhale, roll up. Squeeze inner thighs together. Fix your closed asana. And inhale, arms up overhead. Interlace fingers, extend index fingers, and this time we'll lean right. Big inhale back to center. Bow forward once more. Untangle the legs and step back, downward facing dog. So back in downward facing dog. Remember, this is a great opportunity to pause the video, take a sip of water, do whatever you need to help make it through class. Maybe you pause and come back tomorrow. There's no judgment. Do whatever you need. Remember that presence is a lot about tuning into the body as well. So if the body has had enough, take that cue. Let that be the end of class. Pause in Shavasana and come back tomorrow. If you're carrying on, we will come into some ankle taps. So we'll ground into the hands, into the feet. We'll pick up the right hand and tap the left ankle. And then we'll switch. Right hand down, left hand to right ankle. And then we'll just start moving. Hopefully we've built up a little bit of heat. We're feeling a little bit warm. Trying to be mindful of staying strong into the shoulders. Trying to keep the hips as square as possible without swinging too far wide right and left. And we'll go for about 10, 9, 8, 6, or 7. Yogis can't count. 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time take right ankle towards the left leg, grab it, hold it, and twist. Pull belly in. Smile because you're doing yoga. Feels good. And then right hand down. Big inhale, fill up. Exhale, left hand, right ankle, and twist. Inhale, back down dog. And we'll roll out into our plank. And plank can be a couple different things. Plank can be knees lifted or knees down. But if knees are down, keep that strong spine. We don't want to be here. We don't want to be here. We want to be here or here. And maybe you stay here. I'm going to do something really fun. We're going to tap opposite shoulders. Right hand to left shoulder and left to right. And we'll just move through. And feeling the belly stay nice and strong. The hips stay nice and square. Keep your drishti down above the hands so that we're not arching too much into the neck. Feel the core start to fire. For 5. For 4. For 3. for 2, for 1, and slow lower down to the mat. And we'll reset with a Cobra here. So hands slide down to the chest, toes reach back behind you. Inhale, lift up, and exhale down. We'll do that 2 more times. Big inhale, fill up, unfurl, pull the heart forward, the shoulders back, the femurs root into the mat, glutes softly engage, toes reach back, and release. 1 more time. Inhale, roll up. Pull the heart forward. Feel that all the way down into the low belly. Should feel really good after that core. And then all the way back down. Extend toes out behind you once more. Slide hands back behind you, 45 degrees. Thumbs point away from the body. Forehead or chin to the mat. Situate, feel yourself connected. All the parts of you on the mat. Can you reach the toes away from the hips a little bit more? And then with your next inhale, we'll rise into our Loka Shavasana. So inhale, lift up. And exhale, come down. 2 more times. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release. 1 more time. Big inhale, fill up. And exhale, release. We'll do that again, but with a little bit of movement. So think prone boat meets locust with goddess arms. Maybe that meant nothing to you, and that's beautiful too. Inhale, lift up. No expectations. Exhale, think skydiving. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, cactus the arms, bring the elbows into the sideways. Inhale, skydive. Exhale, goddess. 2 more times. Inhale, skydive. Exhale, goddess. And we'll hold this next one. Inhale, skydive. Exhale, goddess. Breathe for 3. For 2. For 1. And then do nothing. And smile because you get to do nothing. And do nothing on your right cheek for a couple of breaths. And then nothing on your left cheek for a couple of breaths. And then inhale to center. Hands will slide into the side body. Roll the shoulder blades into the back plane. Pick the head up and pull the crown of the head forward. Slide the feet back underneath, or in line with the hips rather. Tuck the toes. Press the heels back. In 1 smooth line. Inhale, press up, plank. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you've had enough of me and you shut the film off. I'm good with it. Whatever works. Otherwise, we're going to shift into forearm plank and back up again. So as you're ready, inhale, bring right elbow down, left elbow down, right hand on, left hand up. And then we'll switch it, left forearm down, right forearm down, left hand, right hand. And now we'll just move a little bit on our own breath. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. And back down. And then we'll do that 1 more time. Breathe for 3, for 2, for 1. Downward facing dog. The camera. From downward facing dog, inhale, roll out to plank. Allow the knees to come down to the mat and situate yourself in table. So again, hands under shoulders, feet and knees connect to the mat on purpose. Belly pulls in, shoulders pull back. And take an inhale, gaze just to the top of your mat. Reach your right fingertips forward. Shift your weight into your right knee. Extend your left leg back. Imagine you're trying to shake someone's hand while poke someone else with your toe. If you're in a big enough space or a small enough space, maybe there's someone there you could poke. Stay here. Or take your wonky airplane. Right arm comes out, left leg comes out. Inhale back. Allow your right hand to place onto the mat. Situate your left leg just out from the hip. Pull belly in, because we tend to lose it here. Pull in. And then bend your left knee, sole of the foot towards the sky. And we'll just begin to pulse. Trying to stay equal weight in both hands. And then we'll take it out to our fire hydrant. Take the left knee out to the left and pulse. If you have a resistance band, this is a great place to add it into practice. Or a terrible place, depending on your point of view. And then back to our donkey kicks. Pulse. And press into the shoulders. Soft bend of the elbows to keep from hyperextending. And our fire hydrants lift out to the left and pulse. For 3. For 2. For 1. Left knee down, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Breathe. Slow down your breath. Wrap shoulders away from the ears. Stay strong in the hands. Think about the tailbone trying to touch the place where the ceiling and the wall meet. Belly pulls up and in. And then we'll roll out to plank. Again, maybe stay lifted or bring knees down to the mat. We'll roll onto our left side, left hand down, right hand up. And then we'll thread the needle, so keep the chest up. Reach the right hand down and up 2 more times. Exhale, twist underneath. Inhale, expand. Last time. Inhale up. Right hand down. Into plank. Knees kiss the mat. Hands step back. Feet in line with the knees. And we'll switch to the opposite side. Left hand extends forward. Be mindful here of that right elbow. It's not too bent. It's not overlocked. Eye of the elbow is in, and there's a soft bend to stay in the tricep. Right leg extends back behind us. Belly pulls in. Shoulders square to the front edge of the mat. Stretch and extend. Using an exhale, left arm comes left, right leg comes out to the right. Taking that wonky airplane. Feeling that right side outer glute start to say, Back to center. Left hand down. Bend the right knee. Sole of the foot towards the sky. And pulse. Breathing easily. And take it out to the right and pulse. Maybe checking back in with our intention of I am present. Are you still here with us? Are you planning dinner in your head? Are you watching the kids play? Come back. And foot towards the sky and pulse. We're almost there. You're doing great. Last time, bring the right knee out to the right and pulse. Smile. It's still yoga, even if it feels a little less yoga-y than usual. And right knee down. Tuck toes, step hands forward. Lift. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathe for 1.
Breathe for 2. And roll out to plank. Shift heels to the right. Right hand firms. Left hand lifts. And left hand under. 2 more times, yogis, you've got this. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, under. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, under. Lifting up to return back to center. Lifting hips high towards the sky. Downward facing dog. 1 more little bit before we rest. Big inhale, fill up. Exhale, cleansing breath out the mouth. Inhale brings us into plank. Stay here or bring knees down. And we're just going to step out for a few breaths. So left foot out, right foot out. Left foot in, right out, right in, left in. And just continuing that pattern. And breathing through that pattern for 3, for 2, for 1. Downward facing dog. Firming into downward facing dog, settling your foundation into the mat. Pick right foot up nice and high. Hug that knee into chest, squeeze it in, roll into plank. Look in between your thumbs. Set your foot down gently. Did you hear that? Gently. You don't get that up north. It's gently here in the south. Take your hands onto your thigh. Roll shoulders back, tailbone down. Maybe even bend your left knee just a little bit to roll tailbone down to the mat, then extend left leg. Breathe here, stay here. Maybe extend arms up overhead, Astashandrasana or high lunge. Now staying here is a great place to practice your isometric lunge. Engage through your glutes, get strong through your inner thighs. Or we'll do 3 knee taps. On an exhale, bring left knee down to the earth gently, and then inhale, press up. 2 more times, left knee down, and up, and down, and up. Stay here for a breath, and exhale, hands down to the mat. My personal favorite, mountain climbers. So great idea to have a set of blocks here underneath your hands to lift the earth, or you can keep hands connected to the mat, yogi's choice. The idea is to float feet into the air and land them down softly. So you'll inhale as you gently lift tailbone. Lift it a little bit high. Straighten the right leg just a little bit. And you're going to think about trying to pop the hips high to switch out the legs. So you'll bend left knee. Use an inhale. And on an exhale, you'll switch. And we'll just move through that a couple of times. Switching back and forth. For 3, for 2, for 1. Landing with left foot forward. Lifting back up into our runner's lunge, hands onto the thigh. Again, maybe staying here. This is a great place to practice. Bend the right knee just a little bit, tailbone down, then straighten the right leg. Turn glutes on, so if I came around and poked you, you would know they were active. Inhale, arms up overhead. Pull the shoulders into the back body. Maybe staying here are 3 dips. Exhale brings right knee down. Inhale presses it up. 2 more. Last one. And hands back to the mat. Step right foot up to meet left. Sit your tailbone nice and low. And then use an inhale to bring hips in line with the knees. Wander the fingertips forward till they just caress the earth. Put the rib cage onto the thighs. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lift hands forward, chest still connected to the thighs. Start to feel that burn in quads. And then inhale, pick chest up, keep hips low. Stay here. Or maybe inhale, right knee to chest. And right foot down. Left knee to chest. And left foot down. 2 more times. Right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee. And sink Utkatasana, chair pose. Look down. Can you see your toes? Turn belly in and on. One more big breath. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Maybe reach for heels. Maybe, can't catch my breath. Maybe reach for heels. Maybe bring fists into opposite elbows. And breathe for a few breaths. Slowing down the heart rate. Slowing down the breath. And then hands to the mat. Bend the knees. Bring bottoms down. Soles of the feet together. And cobbler's pose. Sit nice and tall with shoulders pulling down the back. And we'll turn to face y'all. Press the soles of the feet together. Braid hands underneath the feet. Baddha Hastasana. Roll shoulders back. Lift the heart. And think about pressing the knees down towards the mat. Stretching the inner thighs and releasing the muscles of the glutes. After they did so much work, they deserve a little break. And then we'll work on getting out of our heads and just start to draw some circles through the body. Let the head go. Let the body roll forward and back, side to side. And we'll go in the opposite direction. And pausing at center, just feeling our equilibrium come back. And keep the right foot into the body. Extend the left leg out. We're coming into Janu Sirsasana, or head to knee. So maybe having those blocks nearby if you need them. It's great to chalk under the knee, or just as a space to rest arms. We'll begin to spin the heart over left knee and then melt the chest down. Relaxing the shoulders down the back. And keeping a slight lift to the chin, as though you were going to touch your chin to your toes rather than your forehead. And tuning into all the places in your body that feel like they worked today. And sending a little more breath into those places, softening those places on purpose. And taking one more easy breath here. Rolling back up to center. Taking the right knee towards the sky and then crossing the foot over. Hug right knee into the chest. You sweep the right arm back behind, pulling knee to chest, chest to knee, pressing up and twisting over the right shoulder. And taking one more easy breath here. Coming back to center. Bending left knee. And wandering both heels either into the body, if you tend to be a little bit tighter through glutes, through outer hips, or walking the feet out parallel to the side of your mat, if you're a little more open. Holding on to ankles or maybe to knees. Inhale, pull the heart forward, shoulders back. And exhale, melt in softly. And being present in our body means paying attention to any signs or signals that we're in pain. And pain is a good indicator that we've gone too far. So maybe lifting chest slightly or staying stock straight. If you're sitting up and you feel something, it's working. Stay there. And we'll inhale, rise up. Unwind the legs, maybe shaking and shimmying them out a little bit. And we'll take right leg out, left heel in as you're ready. Situating a block if you need, bringing the heart over right knee and wandering down. Trying to keep chin elevated as though you were going to touch your toes. The pose is head to knee, but sometimes it's nice to feel this a little deeper through QL, through the back side of the left hip. Some of you might be so focused on the hamstrings that you can barely focus on that left hip. Let the shoulders come down the back. Know that you're on the downward slope. You're on your way towards Savasana. Now is the time to tune in and let go. Softly come back to seated. Bring the left knee towards the sky. Hug the right arm around as you take left hand behind you, pressing into the earth to straighten the spine and move chin over left shoulder. There's dog food in my room. Brilliant. Inhale back to center, stepping left leg over the right, wandering feet apart from one another in towards the hips. Taking that big inhale and exhale, soften in. Maybe forearms come onto a block. Maybe the block comes onto your knees. You rest your head. And just being here for 3 more breaths. And that third exhalation, softly wandering hands into the body, bringing the legs out in front, wiggling them, spinning all the meat out, and starting to shift yourself to the center of your mat. Feet will extend out, and we'll slowly, softly begin to roll down onto our backs. Extending arms back behind, toes out in front. And hugging knees into the chest. Maybe rocking a little side to side. And then taking it a little bit further, holding onto the knees, drawing big circles around the sacrum. So all the points of attachments in that lower spinal region getting massaged. And again in the other direction. And finally, bring feet onto the mat. Take right ankle on top of left thigh. Allow ankle and thigh to move to the left. Bring the arms out wide, right and left. And use an exhale to just wrap the right arm underneath the left, maybe holding on to shoulders. Maybe coming in to your eagle bind. And just taking a few breaths here, letting go of the shoulders. Breathing into the space behind your heart. Allowing the arms to expand and unwind. Bringing legs back to center. Right foot down. Left ankle onto that right thigh, and then let that float over to the right. Use an exhale to curl the left arm under the right. Again, maybe stopping at shoulders. Arms might be spent today. Or moving into that full bind. And take a moment. Maybe press the right thumb into the third eye space. And just remind yourself, I am present. So part of being present is being able to tap into our own wisdom, our own inner sight, seeing things as they truly are, rather than what our eyes see them as. Use an inhale, unwind the arms, bring the legs back to center, uncross the ankles, extend feet out to the edge of your mat, and press heels into the earth as you scoop tailbone a little bit closer to the feet. Tuck the chin into the chest, iron out the neck, and then set the head down. Allow your hands to slide down by your side. And just breathe here. Feel the whole of the back body connected into the mat. Use a big inhale to expand the body, top, bottom, side to side. And then an exhale settles the front of the body into the back. The ribs pull in, the feet roll out. The belly muscles that hold and contract all day long soften. We'll swallow softly to relax the throat. We'll let the lips part gently, easing the teeth away as the jaw settles. And the eyelashes just barely kissed closed. The muscles of the forehead completely relaxed. The whole of the body at rest. The whole of the body at ease. And settle in, and I'll call you back when it's time. You can answer it.
I'm waiting for you to
I can get us out in a minute.
Well, it's probably from my kids, so it's online.
Okay. Without yet moving a muscle, just beginning to feel your body here on the mat.
Noticing the weight of your clothes against your body, the temperature in the room. Turning your chin over your right shoulder. And back to center, and then chin over the left. Coming back to center, wiggle fingers and toes. Roll the ankles and the wrists. One knee at a time, bring them into the body. Hug them into the chest. And roll to your favorite side. Use your bicep as a pillow. Taking a breath to come back to this space. And using the top arm, press into the mat. Lift back up to seated. And bow your chin to your chest. Your hands pressing together at Anjali Mudra. Whether this is your first time joining me or we have practiced many times before, it is a pleasure and a privilege to share sacred space with you. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.